Bought a Keyster Carb Repair kit from a 1100 Honda, and I'll just show you how to fit this onto a set of the Keihin carbs. It's exactly the same kind of system as on the CB750 and the CB900, but this is for the 1100, but it's exactly the same. So this is what you get in the kit: some brass bits, some steel bits, float valves, and obviously some rubbers. Now I'll show you how to fit all this. You don't have to split the carbs to do this. You don't have to split the bank. So there's my bank of carbs. The thing you do have to do is this is the common feed between the two carbs, number 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And you don't need to take the whole thing apart to do this. What you need to do is you need to take this carb off the bank slightly, and to do that you need to undo these screws here, and on the same on the other side there. You need to take those out, obviously, and this allows the carb to slide off. However, you can't do that unless you remove the taking it off this one here, the butterfly valve and the choke. And you do that just by holding it over and unscrewing the 2 screws out of there, and that allows the carb to slide off, because that rod slides all the way through, and if you don't take the butterfly valve off, you can't get the carb off the side. So what you do is you slide the carb out. Once you've taken all this out, you slide the carb off, you take that brass tube out, you replace the O-rings, and you put it all back together again. There is one thing you do need to remember though, he says, is that there is a spring on here. This spring will come off, so when you take the carb off, don't lose that spring. And also this part here, you don't need to adjust this. This is the individual adjustment between these two carbs for when you're setting the vacuum balance. You don't need to change that. But when you do put it back together again, you need to bear in mind that there's also spring on the other side of it. You just need to remember that orientation. I'll get on with it then. So that's the carb taken off the side. I've taken out that feed pipe, and there's the spring. You see there the carb is loose. It doesn't actually slide all the way off because it's caught on this piece here. You don't need to put it on that little lip. You don't need to worry too much about it. You can see here that that's now separate. So when you put it back together, make sure that this air pipe there goes back onto that spigot. This air pipe that goes across there and there, and there is basically the float, the breather for the top of the carbs. So just make sure that when you put the two back together again, that fits back nicely on there. And that's it. So I'm just going to replace those 2 O-rings with these babies here, and I'll put it back on, squeeze them all back together again, and rebuild the carb, and then we'll get on to the next stage.